everybody who is sewing along virtually for our Easter tier tray event. Well, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I got into my bag already. And I'm pretty sure you guys did too. You probably, as soon as you got it, you guys were into it. So what can you expect for day one? Day one. This is what your day is going to look like at the end. These are our flowers. This is the basket, and this is the bunny. And these are all the colors. This is the tier tray that you have to put together. So this is what the end of day one is going to look like for you. You guys are just starting out. So this is where I'm going to have you by the end of today. It's very easy. Lots of thread changes for the last one, but other than that, it goes really smooth. I look forward to today. You guys are going to have a great time. And you know what? Get your bag, open it up, start your machine, get your first design, and let's get started. I take it we are ready to start. So our very first project we are going to do is going to be the felt daisy. Something felt. But I know that in your instructions, the little carrot picture frame is first. We are not going in order. We are going to follow Kim's schedule that she has. So the very first one is the felt daisy. So you can see setup is key to having a successful event. So I have put together my tier tray already, and I placed all of the colors right there inside. So you need your wash away thread. You're also going to have to wind 7 bobbins of colors because some of this requires us to have the same color in the bottom as we do in the top. So, and we have a new full bobbin in the bottom of your embroidery thread, and we also have a new needle, so that way we can get to a good start. Right, I got my scissor kit. I still had some tape left over, so I'm just going to use that up before I get to the one that I'm using there. But I am going to go ahead and wind some bobbins. So the first one is peach, sun-kissed peach, and green. Which green? Which green matches our felt? Because the colors I'm pulling out, you're probably wondering what I'm doing, are the ones that, for this one, there's 3 colors that need to have a matching bobbin. So, I'm not sure which green would look nicer. Probably the clover, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the clover
I'm
might be the way
gonna
to
go with the clover too. This is for the leaves on the daisy. So let me get my wash away hooped up, and then we'll start. Okay, so if you have your file pulled up, the one we are looking for is this one here, the 5x7 daisy. So you're just gonna touch that. You're gonna press set, embroider, and there you can see it, that's the one we're going to do. And say okay. And we are actually ready to start. All right, so to start, I have wound my green, and we're just going to put our green into the bobbin case. So the first thing we're actually going to do is we're going to do the green leaves on this side. So I'm just going to set my felt to the side, wash away stabilizer in your hoop. this is where our green one goes. And I'm just going to make sure that it's not going into the pink area, because these pieces need to go like that after. And I'm just going to keep that in mind to make sure that I keep my felt in their area. You can tape it down if you'd like, but I found that the felt, it doesn't really move. So that's what we have now, but it is actually time to change our thread again. So she wants us to use the light peach next, which is the Sunkissed Peach. Now remember, keep it out of the area for the other one. Okay, nothing to do, just press start again. Okay, now we have to change our thread again. This is a really good one to first start off with. It's very easy. Doesn't take very long. Kind of gets everybody comfortable. Now, before I put it on there, just remember, this is where we're going to place it. So as long as we are all nice and snug close, it's going to work out just fine. Okay, nothing to do but press start again. Okay, so now that that's done, we're actually going to take it out of the hoop. And we're going to trim it. And you're going to trim it to, okay. So it actually wants you to cut your flowers out right on the stitch line. So I'm just going to cut them in right on those stitches is where I'm cutting. Okay, so take your cutie little felt thingies and go put them in some cold water. Are we still zoomed in, Devin? Where is, just want to make sure you guys can see. Where are we at? Okay. So just cold water, right? Go run them under some cold water. Get some paper towel. And you can see the flowers are cut right on the stitch line, but the leaves are not. That is a 1/8 inch space. And that has to do because of this next part. Just dab it I don't know if you've ever used Kimberbell's wash away. When it does dry, it does change the structure of the fabric. So we're just going to take them and we're going to fold them and we're going to clip them. So that way, as they dry, we're actually going to have petals that have shape to them. They're not just going to hang there flat. They're actually going to be dimensional, like real flowers. It looks kind of strange, but that's how we're going to leave it to dry. So we're going to do this one too. Flat on my paper towel. No, it should go like that. And we are just going to leave that there to dry. And while they're doing that, we're going to go start on our next project. Okay, so that's the design you're going to pull up now. That is project number 2. You're going to get your 6x10 hoop out, and we are going to hoop it again with our wash away stabilizer. So we got our Sunkissed Peach in the bottom. You're going to get out your next flower that we are doing. This time you have a different color leaf, and you have a large piece of felt. So of course that means instead of the clover, you're going to need your thyme thread. So to start, wash away stabilizer, 6x10 hoop, matching thread in the top and in your bobbin. So you can see here, I have my same color up there as I do in my bobbin. And we're just gonna stitch that out where that needs to go. So first one's the big piece. Now I know this is where my green's gotta go. So I'm not gonna cover any felt into my green area. So this is gonna take a couple of minutes. So when this is all done stitched out, we'll go to the next step. Okay, so we have in the hoop, all the flowers have been stitched. Now you don't have to do anything right now. You just have to press start again. And it's just gonna stitch some of the inner petal details. So while this is stitching, it's a good time to get your water-soluble bobbin thread out, because that comes next. And we are actually going to be using the Madeira. I find this works really well. It is a wash away, and this has to do because we're actually going to create a very interesting flower center. I guess it's going to have like a fringe center. And our center color that we're using is called the Shadow. So you probably have that there, because that's the one that we're going to use with the water soluble. So when this is all done stitching, I'll show you what to do next. So here's what you got. so far stitched out. Looks pretty nice, right? So we have to take our bobbin out. We're just gonna set that aside. And if you have your wash away, I'm using this one and I have it wound on my bobbin. Oops. And we're just gonna put that in there. So we're just gonna thread the top with the shadow, wash away in the bottom. And now we are working on the flower centers. Let me zoom you in so you can see that. And we're just gonna press. We're just gonna press start. You should see how nicely we have the classroom space all set up. Can't wait to have everybody here. But yeah, we'll get this all stitched up. And then we'll be back. Okay, so now that it's all done in here, we're gonna take the hoop off because this is our top flower. So this is the only one that needs the fringe. So we're gonna change our bobbin thread back to a neutral color. I'm just gonna put the pink in because my felt is pink. So it's okay that it's pink. Okay, so we have shadow in the top, pink in the bottom, and we're just gonna press start. Hoop out. And to a, whoops, better make sure my bobbin's in there right. Back to a water soluble thread. Okay, one more time. Get the hoop out. And we're going to change our thread. All right, so I changed my bobbin thread back to the neutral. Do you want to see what the back looks like? So that's what we got so far. And we are down to our last one for the flower core. So it's still just shadow in the top, neutral color in the bottom. Because it's time to do the green. It is time to do the green. Happy green flowers. Covered it, set it up, and that's it. Oh, look what I forgot to do. I forgot to thread my needle. Getting ahead of myself. There. we're on the right track. So now we are done with that one. So I'm going to take it out of the hoop. And we're just going to set it down and we're going to do some cutting. So on this one here, we are going to just trim close to the line. Not like the last one where we trimmed on the line. We are just going close. Don't be too picky where you're there for a week. It's gonna look really great. I'm sure you guys are making beautiful flowers. Four more to go. Oh, that's good, boss. They probably don't want to watch me too. So this is going to be the top of our flower that has the fringe. So I'm going to cut this one out. And I'm cutting this one out before I cut the rest of my other flowers and my leaves. And I'll show you why. Almost there, almost there. Okay. And that has to do because this is my cold water. And I'm just going to drop it inside. And it's going to sit there. And that water-soluble thread is going to dissolve while I'm cutting out more flowers. Are you guys having fun cutting out your leaves? Remember, don't get too picky. They're kind of cute, aren't they? It's fun playing with leaves when it's snowing and blowing out. Right, there we go. Okay, so come and see what I have in the water. Remember that center one with the flower and with that water-soluble thread? We put that in there so it could start dissolving. So now we're just gonna dissolve away our wash away. We're just gonna throw them in there. All right. Just gonna give them a little bit of a rub. Got 1, 2, isn't that cute? This is so fun. And you're probably wondering what temperature my water is. It is just tap cold, right? We've had this one in there the longest. I threw this one in as quick as I could. I was hoping that all that thread would dissolve, and it is. It's coming apart. Do you see? That's what we want. If yours is still kind of fighting you and it's kind of tough, just throw it back in the water and just let it sit there for a while. But mine is actually doing quite well. So I'm just gonna work it a little bit more. You can do this with a different color thread and use your seam ripper and pick it away, but not me. I definitely think that water soluble thread is worth getting. Oh, you see it? It's coming out. That beautiful messy flower center. That's what we are looking for right there. Right, I'm just going to trim that. And there we have it. We have a really, really cute. Okay, let's go to the next part. We're just gonna dry it off as best as we can. Now, you're gonna accordion them. So we're gonna try to grab it as best as we can. You see that? We have 3 petals. We want 3 accordions. Just like that. Get your clips and just get them to hold it there. I know, doesn't look like much of a flower right now, but let's do this again. Right, pinch and pinch and clip. And then we go to the other side, pinch and pinch and clip. Okay, only a few more times. These Wonder Clips, they're just so nice to have. So, this little guy's gonna be a little bit tougher. This is really tiny. Really, really tiny. Now, we are gonna let these dry overnight, and then tomorrow, we're gonna hot glue gun the flowers together. That's what they look like. So that's what we got. So that is project number 2, and we're just gonna leave that just like that until tomorrow. So we'll set that one aside. Not sure if we want them all in the same paper towel. We don't want to get them all mixed up. Make sure you stay away from your water soluble stabilizer when you're doing this, well, because it's going to dissolve if you get it wet. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so I've cut my wash away. Let's set that there. But in here, we actually have the wash away sticky back. So you're just gonna hoop just the stabilizer, the wash away sticky back. Score it. And just peel that away to reveal a nice sticky surface. So this one here is the lace basket. There isn't really anything in our event kit for this one except for the ribbon. Everything else is going to be done in the hoop and your thread. So we're going to take that, and this is our wash away, and we're just going to put that right on top. So we have washi away sticky back and just your wash away. And let's go stitch it. So if you come over this way, Devin. I can get you guys caught up on what we got going on. So I got my yellow up here. I got my yellow in the bottom. See all that, right? It's just the yellow matches my top. You're going to need your Sunkissed Peach with a matching bobbin. You need that in white, in your pink, right? And then I like the clover green, so you can use your time, but I like the clover green. And then we got our design on the screen, and just press OK. And let's put our hoop in. Needle. Okay. And just press start. And this part here is going to stitch for a long time. So while this is going, we are going to have to do some hand sewing. So it's a good time to take your needle and thread and get one threaded up for when it's all done. But our next color that we are going to do is you're going to need your peach and your matching bobbin. So that's when the yellow's all done, this is what we're going to put in there next. Finally finished off at 21,991 stitches. So now we're just changing our thread color. Then we're going to be stitching on some diamonds, but that is where we're at. So get your yellow out, and we are putting in our Sunkissed Peach. Oops. There we go. Match your bobbin. And put your hoop back in. And that's it. Now we wait again. Okay, so we got our diamonds on. Now you're going to put white in the top. You're going to put white in your bobbin. And we're just going to put it in. And we're just going to press it. So there you can see all the white that it's going to do. Like I said, there's going to be a bit. Okay, white's done. So I got my pink in the top. I got my pink in the bottom. And now it's going to get dramatic. that is a very bright color compared to all the soft colors that we have been using up until now. And sit back, enjoy, and watch. So we got our green in the bottom. We got our green in the top. Now check that out. Isn't that beautiful? That looks really awesome. But anyway, it is time to put the final touches. Last color. Okay, so while your green is stitching out, it's a good time to go get yourself some warm water and set out some paper towel, because as soon as this is done, we're actually going to take it out and we're going to get it wet. So we'll see you back in a bit. Okay, she is finished. So we're just going to pop that out. Looks very nice, doesn't it? So you're just going to go across the back. We are just going to trim some of those little tails that are sticking up, because you got to remember, this is the inside of our basket. So there's not too many tails. It's actually very well done. Okay. I'm going to grab some bigger scissors and we are just going to trim it. I wonder. The satin stitch did do just enough where we can pull it. Let's go take it to some water. So I have my warm water here and we're just gonna dunk it in there. We don't want to dunk and keep it in there to get rid of all the wash away stabilizer. We want to keep some on there because as it dries, it's actually going to be what keeps our little basket sitting upright. I'm happy with that. Okay, mop up some of our water. So then we're going to take our little basket. I'm going to fold it, give it its shape. Now, do you remember at that one point we had to do a needle and thread? And we're going to shape our basket, and we're just going to do a whip stitch. Whip. Am I saying it right? And start your knot so it's on the inside of the basket. Then go back to the back side. Then we're just gonna go, just gonna mimic the satin stitch. Now, it's not gonna be a basket that, you know, you're gonna go collect your rabbit eggs with. It's just for decor, so you don't have to go into too much work. To get it there. I can feel the gumminess of the stabilizer, but that, when it dries, that's also going to give my basket a really nice, how would you say that? It's going to stand up straight. It's almost like it's going to have a sturdiness to it. I don't know if you guys have ever done free stand-up lace, but it's done the same way. Okay, let me get this done and I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm finished. Hi, okay, so I got it all sewed together and that's how it looks, and that's the only little ribbon that we had for this project to put in. All the rest was just stitching out. So we're gonna put that up there. That is our very first finished piece that goes in the tier tray. It's so cute. So our next project that we're doing is the embroidery buddy profile, and that one is this one here. So when you open it, you're gonna find 3 pieces of white velveteen. So there's different sizes. See how that one is smaller? This is the upper back. This piece is the lower back, and this is your front. And she also put in a piece of iron away topper. I have my light mesh cutaway hooped into a 5x7, and I'm just gonna set that there, put that there. So I have 1/2 inch up from the bottom. I have taken my pressing cloth and I have ironed it, so that way we have a nice little lip. And this is the wrong side, this is the right side, and the nap does go down. So now we're going to go over here. That's the design we have pulled up. That is the one that we're going to be stitching. And we're gonna, I have white embroidery thread in the bottom. I have my yellow in the top. And now we're going to stitch out the placement line. these are the colors we're going to use. We've got our blue, our white, our pink. That's Sunkissed Peach. We got our clover, our purple, and our thyme green. So those are all the colors we're going to use. This one is a lot of thread changing in short bursts. But yeah, this project should not take very long. The longest part on this one is going to be the green. So let's get started. So this is our front piece of velveteen that we're going to use. I'm just trying to figure out, oh, that's right. See, when I do that, it gets really rough. And when I go back, it lays down. So I want it to lay nice and smooth. And then we're just gonna, hold on, I almost forgot a step. Our topper, our iron away topper has to go on now. And that one is very slippery, so I would recommend taking the time for this one to tape it down. This is why we put the yellow in, because now that we have stitched that down, all we're going to do is press start and we're just going to stitch the yellow. Okay, so the yellow has finished. I got my pink threaded in there and let's stitch that out. All right, pink's done. Now it's time for the peach. So this project is all just about changing threads, stitching out all these colors. All right, that is Sunkissed Peach. Now, I got the purple in, but don't put your Sunkissed Peach away yet, because we are gonna have to come back and use that one again. All right, that's the purple. Now you're gonna put your peach back in, and we're going to just put the center in on those flowers. Well, there you have it. So that is the pink, and let's do the blue. Okay, the blue is down. Now we're going to do the green. The first one we are doing is the clover green. All that green we're going to stitch out. And there is the color bar. You see all those other colors we did? And then look how big the green one is. Yeah, we're gonna be here for a little bit. It's really starting to look like something, isn't it? It reminds me of those vintage handkerchiefs, but repurposed into something really neat. Into this cute little bunny. Anyway, I have my last color of green in, so let's stitch it out. Okay, so that's it there. We got all the colors in. Now we're just gonna tear away the iron away. As much of it as we possibly can. We're gonna put a pressing cloth over top, and we got our iron nice and hot, and we're just gonna iron that away. So we are ready for this piece, your bunny top back. I have blue in so you can see where I'm stitching. Put that over top. We're gonna line up our bottom with that. We are gonna take our tape all the way across to make sure that it cannot get caught. I'm just gonna throw a piece up there, and another piece right there. And then we're going to stitch that down. all stitched down. I'm going to move my tape. Okay. Even to me. So make sure that it's fuzzy side down. And we are just going to line it up with those 2 stitch markers. Yeah, did you see them? We stitched those out. And then we're just going to put that down. And now we finish it. This is the last stitching that we are going to do for day 1 of the Easter tier tray. That is the last of it. Then we're going to take the bunny out of the hoop. We're going to trim it and we're going to turn it right side up. So we'll be back in just a minute. So notching. We are going to be doing lots of notching. Okay, everybody, the bunny is turned right side out. The little basket is done. Our flowers are going to lay here. They are going to dry overnight for day 2 of the Easter tier tray. So yeah, I think overall today was a lot of fun. It actually went very quickly, and I can't wait to do this again tomorrow. Bye.